My son is 7 years old now. He's never been dry at night. Around the age of 5, I became a little concerned that he may not be the same as the other children, which may have been wrong.
My daughter had never been dry at night. From the time when children obviously have training during the day and they go on to normal clothes, and then eventually at night they progress so they're automatically dry at night. That never ever happened with my daughter.
We tried taking him out of his nighttime pants on a regular basis from the age of about 3, just for a week at a time. We stopped him from having a drink roughly an hour before he went to bed, and it didn't ever seem to ease off. We didn't ever have a dry night from that, and I didn't want to pressurise him. Possibly tiredness may be the only factor, where we're up in the night changing bed covers and sheets and things like that, but the stress levels, things like that, we don't have that as a problem in our house. It's something that cannot be helped. We don't make it an issue.
The impact of the bedwetting on family life in the initial stages was in terms of practical issues like washing bedding every day, time involved in stripping beds every day, getting the washing done before going to work and school, etc. As the older my daughters got, the bedwetting became a problem in terms of sleeping outside of the family home and sleeping in different environments if we went away or stayed anywhere else. It was a worry for both her and for me in terms of the practicalities involved, in terms of her anxiety about going somewhere else.
I didn't want him to feel that pressure as a child of 3, between 3 and 7, to feel that pressure that he had to be dry at night. It wasn't causing us a problem at home, and I didn't want it to be an issue for him.
When she got to about 6 or 7, it was obvious that there was no improvement happening at all, and that's when we asked for a referral, a medical referral, to find out if there was a problem and whether there was anything that could be done about it medically.
I took him to the doctors, who referred us to a specialist doctor, where we had a fantastic chat and were made to feel more than at ease. We were told about alarms, bed alarms, medication, went through all the things that could be wrong, were wrong. We realised that he may have a low chemical in his brain, vasopressin, and he was given medication to restore the balance. I've had access to information from the doctor and websites, one of those being Eric, which specialises in children who wet the bed. The website was easy to navigate round. There were fun games. There was a forum where children could speak to each other without being named about how they feel, what happens to them, how their parents feel. And it was nice to be able to read that there really were people with the same problems, and that the children could reach out to speak to, without coming face to face, without being embarrassed, just to be able to be normal.
In terms of support, it has been a bit more difficult to find because it's not a problem that is particularly mainstream, in the fact that in a particular group of mums you may actually be the only one, or there may only be another one, and people don't always say. Friends that have been aware of it have been supportive because they're friends, but they haven't had personal experience necessarily. But it was useful when my daughter did find a friend who had got the same condition, because then actually when that mum realised that, when her daughter was going away on a trip and then suddenly found that she was panicking that she'd got enough medication and what she would do, it was useful for her to be able to ring me and say about her worries and her issues attached to that. And prior to that, neither of us would have been aware that we were both managing the same thing, basically. It's not something that's hugely common, but it's not something that's hugely uncommon either. And there are lots of other families that are managing the same condition every day of the week. It's just not something that is in the public domain particularly.
The only thing I can say from my own personal opinion is that it is not the child's fault. Bedwetting happens for several different reasons, not necessarily the same one in each child, but you must remember that it is not your child's fault and they cannot help it. There is help and advice from all over the place. You can find it anywhere, on the websites, in books, in the doctors. Go and see somebody, talk to people, and they can help you.